Your version is waiting to be unlocked because you put it behind the bars long ago when you began accepting your life as it is. You stopped growing, you stopped stretching, and became a cog in the machine. Your inner voice kept on shouting from within, "When are we going to free?" And every time it raised its voice, you suppressed it. You killed its innocence and buried in the ground. It could have been your last hope, but you chose comfort and lies to avoid struggles and pain. Stop burying your voice, scream it loud, and free yourself. Whenever you feel a lot of burden inside, a lot of stress, let it all out. Your distress, your anger, your pain, your agony, your anguish. And I know this for a fact because I have been there too. I felt distress and anguish, but I didn't let them take over my mind. I controlled myself and made clear and concrete decisions. Ladies and gentlemen, there is a line by Jim Rohn that really shook me from inside. So the line goes like this: if you're not willing to risk the unusual, you will have to settle for the ordinary. And you might be wondering, what exactly does this mean? Let me explain it to you. Most people are afraid to chase their dreams, to go after their goals, or whatever the life they want to manifest into the physical universe. It's not because they don't have the caliber or courage or wisdom. It's just because they are too afraid, not of the world, but of themselves. At the back of their mind, they have told themselves numerous times that they could do it. They have the potential. When you were born, you weren't born just with flesh and bones. You were born with gifts, talents, and treasures that God implanted within you long ago before you came to this planet. But despite knowing this truth, despite knowing this fact, most people focus on their shortcomings instead of their strengths. They keep looking into other people's lives. They keep making comparisons instead of living their own lives. Instead of working on themselves, they keep letting other people's opinions and beliefs affect their lives. How heartbreaking is that? I still remember one of the beautiful quotes said by Les Brown: someone's opinion of you does not have to become your reality. Well, ladies and gentlemen, most people realize the meaning of this quote later in life. How about if you could realize the meaning of this quote today, and instead of letting other people's opinions about you, who you are right now, affect you? In fact, with their negative perception about you, you gain an understanding and you begin to work on yourself. Instead of taking it as a negative comment, you will take it as a source of inspiration. You will take it as a constructive feedback. All you need to do is to just tell your mind whatever it is trying to attract, it is attracting it for his own benefit. If you keep saying to yourself that people are telling negative things about you, then you know the result, you know the output. You will make your life much worse than it is. So every single day, just say to yourself that you are great and you can achieve anything in your life, provided you are not being negative about yourself. You are using positive affirmations like, I'm enough, I am a confident person, and I'm going to manifest my dreams into reality. You need to have this kind of courage, this kind of confidence in you. If you genuinely want to transform your life, if you genuinely want to transition from your old self to the new self, one of the difficult things that you could do in your life is going from point A to point B. And the space between the point A to point B, that is the center part. And you will be there in the later stages of your life. Before reaching to your final destination, you will be at the center. And you will be questioning your existence. You will be going through an existential phase. Like, the path that I have chosen, whether should I go in that path or should I just ignore it completely or keep doing the work that I'm doing right now? Most probably you are an employee working in some random organization, living a paycheck to paycheck life. You are waiting every month that you are going to get a salary. Your salary will be credited in your bank account. That's what you imagine every month. But what happens after that month? You again keep following the same routine, same mundane job. You keep seeing the same employees, the same colleagues, the same clients. I'm not trying to demotivate you or discourage you, but I'm just trying to put a seed of belief within you. Sometimes we have to be serious about our lives. Instead of just going with the flow, we need to just change the direction of the boat, because there is no pride, there is no wisdom in keep drifting like a boat into different directions. So it is your responsibility that you keep rowing your boat until you reach the shore, because nobody is going to come to help you to overcome your life challenges, to solve your life problems. You are the one who has to take the responsibility of your life. Or tell me, who will take your life's responsibility then? If you won't take your life's responsibility, then who will? Your parents are getting old. Your wife, if you are married, and obviously your wife, your kids might expect something from you. Like when my dad is going to bring toys for me, I had been expecting from you that you would bring a toy, but you didn't bring. So this time, please promise me that you will buy a gift for me. I want to buy a bicycle and it will cost around 5,000. I hope you have 5,000 rupees in your bank account. You are my dad and you have to bring a gift for me, the cycle. Will you? Ladies and gentlemen, if you don't have 5,000 rupees in your bank account, especially I'm talking to the middle class people who every day struggle a lot, who are working in sub corporates, who are working in 9 to 5 jobs, struggling every day, listening to boss's advice, no matter if that advice is useful for them or they are just listening it just for the sake of survival. Most of the employees who are working in some organization, they are just surviving. They are not living. And that's the tendency of most of the people, especially in India. I don't want to go into that other stuff such as the government, such as the corruption, such as the politicians and all that. But the thing I want to talk about is your superpower, is your inner voice, is your conscience that holds the power to turn your life around, that holds the power to reshape your life if you let it.